What's good, everybody? Welcome to the 20th episode of the KM Mitch Talk video blog series. I'm the one and only Kyron Montero. It's an honor to be serving you today. Today is October 10th, 2015. We are almost done with this year. I hope it's been a great year for everybody. We all got ups and downs, but we persevere through it and push through it and use our trials and tribulations to make us stronger. So a little life motivation and ultimately trust in Christ. A little life motivation for everybody. So it's been a little while since I've done one. It's been busy. So I want to make sure that I really took the time out today to make it. It is late morning, but I don't know what time today you guys will be seeing it. What the importance is that this just gets done. So, I had many different things I want to talk about, how to deal with the low end and mixes, getting that right, where you're kicking bass or not, fighting. I wanted to break down mastering because mastering is what I mainly focus on. Wanted to talk about many other different things, but there's something that just came to mind, and so that's what I want to talk about. And I want to call this blog the ideal monitoring setup, right? The ideal monitoring setup. So obviously this is not fact. It's all taste at the end of the day. But I think a lot of people, they'll hear a mix or they'll hear a master from an engineer, and the first questions they want to know is, man, what do you use on the vocal? What EQ did you use? What compressor? What reverb? Blah blah blah. They want to know the tools at the end of the day, which is fine. That's great. But I think at the same time, it's really important to understand that, hands down, that your monitors, right, your speakers are your most important thing in the studio, hands down. Also with that, comes with the DA converter you're using to help go along with that, and so on and so forth. So for me, I know some people who use, obviously I have multiple speakers. I have two different pairs. I have my VSTH from KRK, have the legendary Mix Cubes, which sound like trash, and they're supposed to. And I'll explain that here in a little bit. But I think the ideal setup is good speaker, good main, let me say it like this: good main monitors, bad reference monitors, good headphones. And I'm gonna say that I'm gonna break down why I think all of that is. I know some people use even more than that. I read on I think a PreSonus interview or somewhere, or seen on the video that the legendary Dave Pensado, who's a legendary mixing engineer, uses like 5 pair of speakers now. No diss to Dave. I love what he does and what he contributes. But I'm like, man, that's crazy. 5 monitors. To me, that's an excuse to not train your ear harder. So I think it's good to have one set of main monitors that you really rely on. This is just totally my philosophy. I'm just, expounding on it. But I think that if you have one set of main monitors, it forces you to really learn those monitors inside and out. Because no matter how cheap or how expensive or how many pair of monitors you use, every monitor you're going to have complaints about. Every monitor is going to have pros and cons. Like I said, my main monitors are VSTH by KRK. It is a series that's above the Rockets. Obviously, Rockets are their most popular series because, they sound real good and they're really affordable for so many people. So, and I've used Rockets and they're cool, but the VST is on It's a whole nother level of telling the truth and revealing stuff going on. Better speakers, they don't sound better. They sound more revealing. They tell the truth more. So my main monitors I know inside and out. I mean, I know the KRK sound in general inside and out. And so what that forces me to do, instead of having like 4 or 5 different pair of main monitors, what it forces me to do, and I'm not saying that that's what Dave Pensado does, but I'm just saying sticking to one set of main monitors, what it forces me to do is learn that speaker, man, for many different things. And so I've had nothing but absolute success with these monitors, and probably won't move for a very long time away from these. Number 2, you need to have a set of bad monitors, man, because consumers are not listening to music on good monitors in a treated room. They're not doing none of that. A lot of people are listening from iPods, decks, right? These things, earbuds, right? Earbuds is a big part of music now, because it's all on our phones and handheld devices. So earbuds and headphones are a huge way people are listening to music. So you want to have a representation of consumer grade products, so you know how it's going to translate into the real world. Now, me, I trust my main monitor, so once I seal it, I seal it. But it's still cool to bounce down to the mix cubes to understand. And I recommend the mix cubes. I mean, they're affordable, and they are really good at sounding bad. So it's like, you want to know what's good, but then you want to know how that's going to go out, because, sometimes you may need to adjust something. You may be like, oh, okay, this is too much mids, or, maybe trying to get bass to work, work better on smaller speakers, or whatever the challenge may be. It's just good to have that real world representation in the studio of, car systems, iPod decks, earbuds, etc. Just yeah. And then number 3 is having a good pair of headphones. Now, I use KRK, their KNS 8400 headphones. Been using those for the last 2.5 years. Honestly, I don't really use them much. In mixing or mastering, if I'm tracking somebody, then obviously I'll put them on. But the reason it's still good to have that, once again, is just like I said before, most of the world listens to music in headphones. And it's kind of a cool reference. My philosophy of headphones, I went with KRK headphones because they made them to sound like their monitors on my ear. And I know one reason a lot of people use headphones is a lot of us have our rooms set up and our studios built into our house. So if you're married or you got kids, or maybe you're in an apartment and you got neighbors, whatever the case might be, and you need to, still grind out a mix, at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, there's no way you're gonna be able to use your monitors like you would want to. So headphones definitely will come into play. My thoughts on it is I want to use the same that same voice and sound that I'm used to from my main monitors. That way, when I wake up in the morning and go back to hear what I did, I'm like, okay, I can live with this. It's something that I'm familiar with. But then on the other end, sometimes you may want a different brand of headphones from the people who make your main monitors, so that it gives a different perspective.